What do you want to be the best at? What do you want to be really good at? What have you got a desire to do? What's your big goal in your life? And then how do you make it happen? And what if you had access to the people in the world who are already doing what you want to do? Or if you've got an idea that's never been done before, the people that have created things, developed things, invented things that have never existed. Wouldn't it be nice to have access to those people? What if you could have a conversation with, ask lots of questions of, somebody who's done what you want to do? Would it add value to your ability to achieve your goals? And it's something that, the reason I'm asking the question, it's something that perplexes me every day. Because I watch people go into a conversation with very successful people, wealthy people, accomplished people, world champions, people that have really done some stuff with their life. And they go into that conversation. Imagine having access to somebody like that who's got all the knowledge and life experience, who's done the things that you want to do, and then you do the talking. If I'm talking, all that's happening is I'm repeating something that I already know. It's just gas coming out of my mouth, really, because I already know it. So if I want to learn something, isn't it possible that I have to shut up and ask questions? And I use just a very personal example. My gorgeous husband, K-Man, he's got a master's degree in exercise science. He's 50 plus times multiple world champion in martial arts. He's been on the Young Rich list in Australia as one of the richest people in Australia as a businessman. He's a very successful, accomplished man. And the students at our college, at the Max International Colleges, have access to his knowledge. He is the person who will share his knowledge with everybody that asks. And there's the challenge, isn't it? You have to ask. Every successful person, knowledgeable person, anybody that's achieved in their life always share the same thing with me. I would love to help other people do what I've done. I would love to share my knowledge and experience. But no one's going to knock on your door and say, hey, I want to tell you about all the things I've done. Or how do you want to achieve what I've achieved? I want to help you do it. You have to go and ask. And if you don't ask, then of course you won't get the information. But if you have access to those people, why wouldn't you ask? Why do you do the talking? And I'm not talking to you personally, but it's just something that I observe on a regular basis. So when people have access to K-Man, for example, from a martial arts point of view, from a business perspective, from an anatomy and physiology perspective, and talk about common sense logic and understanding how the human body works, he is really the master at that. But he's never going to tell you that, because the other beautiful thing about successful people is they're very humble. They don't share with you what they've done. The only way you'd ever find out what they've done is either to read their resume or their bio, or to ask them. So if you have access to the very best in the world, and I used an example, I just watched a podcast with Tom Cruise. Now, whether you like his movies or not, he's been a very successful movie maker. And for somebody who is the age that he is, and he's still doing all his own stunts, he's made some incredible movies and achieved some incredible things. And it was interesting to listen to him talk, because all he talked about was how to become good at what he has done, and arguably one of the best in the world. He said, all I did was ask questions. He didn't go to film school. He didn't go to acting classes. He just learnt from the very best in the world. So when he had access to the best actors, the best producers, the best directors, the best screenwriters, the best music producers, he asked them questions. He said, they got sick of me because all I would do was ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. I've seen exactly the opposite of that, where people have had access to somebody who's really good at what they do, and they just talk about what they've done. And usually, and it's without being disrespectful, if you have access to somebody who's very successful and you are not successful yet, would it be a really good idea to shut up and listen, ask questions and listen, rather than do the talking? So if you have the privilege, and I'll just go a little step further, would it be respectful if you're in the presence of somebody that's achieved something of value? If you are in the presence of somebody that you respect or you appreciate for their achievements, would it be respectful to ask questions rather than talk? Because to expect those people to listen to you talk, I think for me, and that's why I never do it, I love anatomy and physiology, and I love sport, and there's so many things I'm passionate about. But when I'm in the presence of people who are experts in that area, it doesn't matter what I think I know, I shut up and I ask questions because I want to learn more. And that's just a beautiful human trait, perhaps. And I was taught it a very long time ago. If you want to learn, you have to be open to learning. If you want to appreciate what somebody's done, you have to ask them what they've done and then shut up and listen. And then the next part of that, the communication part, is when you ask a question, you get an answer. Ask 3 more questions about each answer so that you can keep getting more and more information. And what's really beautiful, because some people say this to me, oh, but successful people don't want to tell you what they've done or how they've done it. Well, in my experience, that's not true. Everybody that I've ever met that's successful in whatever field, whether it's sport or business or art or music, or doesn't matter, they really do love sharing what they've done, but they're not going to come and tell you. You have to ask. They're also very humble, and they're also very kind. So be aware that if you meet somebody who's nasty to you or disrespectful or doesn't answer your questions, they're probably not very successful, because successful people are always kind, because the word success for me comes with I'm respectful, I'm self-motivated, self-educated, self-inspired, but I have massive amounts of self-respect, which means I'll also respect the people around me. So I think you'll find that when you ask questions, genuinely interested in the answers, that people will talk to you. So there's again another communication tool. Ask a question, lean forward, maintain eye contact, open up your body language, and actively listen. Which actively listen simply means you don't do any talking, but you go, really, wow, tell me about that, tell me more about that. And that's the magic question. Tell me about you and tell me about that. And then every answer you get, ask 3 more questions, or 2, 5, 10 more questions about each answer. If you really want to succeed and you have access to people who are successful, could it be a really good idea to shut up and listen rather than to talk and tell? And then you could live your life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you? Asking questions and living my life to the max. Woohoo!